wanted to talk to you today about is maybe bring you to understanding, or at least bring it to your attention, of these war tactics that they've been played on us our entire lives. A lot of them are subliminal, and we grow up into them through culture. Our parents teach us that these things are normal. Their parents taught them that these things are normal, so on and so forth. But money being the root of it all. But paying for food, you'd say, how is a farmer going to make a living or make money if he don't sell his product? Well, that could be a good question if you're still in the realm of believing that these monies is worth something. I'd say that the food would be worth more than the money in any circumstance. But not allowing someone to enter a store because they don't have a mask, this is forced through coercion, duress. These are war tactics to say that if you're not going to comply and play by our rules, you're not going to eat, you're going to starve. You understand this? Like, is this is what we need to come to the understanding of, and say that, that they're still allowing women and allowing women to abort their babies with this whole my body, my choice thing through corporations. Okay, corporations in these babies' lives. Ultimately, they want these babies' lives through other videos and movies, documentaries, and stuff that I've watched. But I still see that as a programming to me, and these are more steps that I need to overcome through my progress of about five years now that I've been doing this, and not necessarily the conspiracy, that's what most people will call it, but in the spiritual realm, trying to figure out what was going on, what my purpose is, and all this. And it's really showed me a lot of the wrongness in the world, but it's also programmed me in a way that I still get into. I'm still guilty of believing things without factual information, without solid factual information, like the whole Pizzagate stuff and things like that. And I would just say a lot of these, them are other tactics as well. The confusion, leave you confused, leave them disoriented, and these are war tactics, Satanism, because they leave you confused. The devil is clever, leave you confused to where all you know is you have to go to work and to make a living, to pay for that food, to get just a little bit further, the illusion of getting a little bit further than you were yesterday, which you're not any further. You're barely treading water. At least in my situation, I am. And water or water supplies are contaminated, or water supplies are poisoned, and we pay for that. This is being another war tactic. If you can't drill a well in the city, or at least they say you can't, another war tactic through a government, local government, what have you, state. But really, it's our compliance into making these rules regulated. We pay for our poisoning. We pay for our poison food, and for them to protect their rules, their regulations, their licensing. We pay for it in means of taxes when we go to the grocery store. So all this, I know this was a big build-up for what I'm about to do, and I probably done lost anybody that was already listening to this. But private contract, we can do this without the corporations. We can have a life of prosperity without the means of this type of money that they say is actually worth something, this piece of paper, in which that is about to come to an end as well, because here soon it's just going to be digital. It's just digital numbers. Even when your boss writes you a check, or the corporation you work for gives you your check, fills it out, you get one piece of paper, and that's it. It goes to a bank. The bank transfers the money from that account to your account. That's your energy. That's your energy that you give to someone else. And you can't even say to someone else, to a person, in which we've been through this, what a person is. Even a corporation, they're entities. And entities aren't physical. They're just no different than a ghost. They're no more real than a word on a piece of paper. We know this. We've talked about it. Essentially, that's where they get their power from. They extract your energy in the physical world, like I'm about to go do right now, and then they put it into this fabricated, illusory world that our straw man, or whatever you want to call it, our fictitious, the not me's, whatever, that we're played into. And I don't know, it just gets to be a lot. But what I want to do is start working with people. I'm a gardener. I can grow food. I can collect seeds. And I'm wanting to start establishing a new network of people that I can connect with on a spiritual level, on even into the physical domain, to where we're not necessarily trying to stop anyone from living a life inside their fabricated world. If they need to be there, if they feel comfortable, if they feel safe there, fine. But what they need to do is keep us out of their world. They want to be regulated, licensed, bagged, and tagged, so be it. But they do not have the right to do that, to drag us into their world. If we, and we do, we have the right. They've made it harder for us growing up with the luxuries and privileges of having TV. I'm not saying I watch TV, but I obviously have the internet and am capable of watching YouTube videos and stuff, which I want to get away from that platform as well. But I know this is just kind of a ramble. I wanted to get some things off my chest about these war tactics and here's another thing that all this money that if you really start paying attention, or at least from my perspective, what my commercials and stuff that come along these social media sites and even Spotify, law enforcement commercials, Medicare, or the medical field, and all these corporations banked on this bailout so much that they're able to advertise, they're able to squash anybody like me. Like, I had a chance anyways, I'm speaking to nobody, but at least I'm making the videos because this is what I know what to do as of right now, and it's just recently that I've gained the courage to even start talking into, I know I'm just another guy with a bad YouTube channel, no credentials, no high-end intros, no high-end camera, nothing. I get this, that I'm only going to be connecting with a few people. But we need to start making these videos on personal levels. If anybody's out there that's trying to escape the matrix, so to speak, start making these videos and making your way out. I don't know what else to do other than start speaking about it and telling other people my experiences and how I'm trying to get out of it. But what's going to help me get out of it is finding those other people that are ready to trade and privately contract without any third-party involvement, because it can be done. There's no sense why it can't. We've gotten this far with a third party, and millions of years ago, or thousands of years ago, well, I can't say thousands, I guess it's been here longer than that, but there wasn't always government. There wasn't always controlling authority. The nature is the authority. God is the only authority that we have here in this realm. And those of you that's listened to any of my videos, you understand what I'm talking about when I say God. Everything in existence. You are it. You are part of it. I am part of it. We're not separate. Anything that separates us and divides us, fragments, anything that lies, cheats, and steals, that's outside of our instinctual characters of being human. These are taught and, through these tactics of war, get us fighting amongst ourselves, getting us to doubt ourselves, to think that we can't live without it. We can't. And it's satanic. It's devilish. And we worship it. Not intentionally. I think a lot of us uh, don't want to, but we're stuck. We feel stuck. We're not really stuck. There is a way out. And it's just having the courage to dig ourselves out or fill ourselves in so we're back on top of things. But I kind of rattled on long enough, and no, I didn't. There's not too much of a point to this video other than just wanting to connect with people and, let's start making these steps. Let's start making these steps and making these changes day by day. And, sooner or later, we'll be out of it if we've got the time to get out of it. But we're always going to be here. We don't die. This is just one level of life. This is just one area of life that we're born into. Can't even say born. It's just an area of life. It's an extended. Do our bodies die? Of course. No body lives forever. Turns to dust. We go back into the atmosphere, the body does. But our energy is always here. And this is what we're on this realm to do, is to understand that energy, to understand it, work with others, and because they're all part of the same deal. All right.